day 2 of RadioU fundraiser.
So our fundraiser goes through next week. So until then, we'll have this shortened podcast for you. Better than nothing. So if you want to help support RadioU while we're busy raising money to keep RadioU on the air, which keeps the Riot on the air, which makes the Riot podcast available, please check out RadioU.com and include in the comments section that you are a podcast listener. We get so many of those, so it's nice to see and let you guys know that we're truly thankful for supporting this podcast.
Well, let's talk about archived bits today. Worst of the Riot in this podcast, you're going to hear bagpipes and McDonald's. I don't know what that one is.
It's not the one, well, I mean, should we spoil it? Or is that the one where they used to play the music to keep
get people away?
Yeah, was that it?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Nikki is a lobster cook now.
I remember that.
I do too. Obadiah wants to hire an actor to play Obadiah online. I've thought about that. That's a good one. We had a band that did that, and I'm sure that's what that bit is about. But it's like, yeah, like, I'm not very good looking, but if I could combine my personality and voice with someone that had the right looks, I could have a real winning combination.
Yeah, you were talking about how for social media, like how can you just get a better presence for social media?
Yeah. Also, we talk about where's that headache coming from?
That's the worst.
Brand new stuff you're going to hear today. We talk about the new Eggo gingerbread cookie pancakes, Xbox payment plans and where you can find them. And I have to grab it. It's the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yeah, we talk about the update. Oh, we didn't play the postponement music.
Oh!
Come on!
Come on!
We always play the postponement music. We forgot. We postponed the music.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're not postponing disappointment because I'm disappointed right now.
We truly forgot about that.
Shoot.
I don't even remember what it sounds like. We'll have to find it maybe for tomorrow.
You could turn it up. I'll play it for you right now.
Do you have it here?
Let me see. Deep.
Is it not there?
I gotta find it.
If it's too much, we won't bother. I mean, we don't want to be sad.
Godzilla theme, Battle Hymn of the Republic.
No, got everything
Llama
else.
dubstep.
No, that's all right. We'll just play it another time.
Wait.
Did you? Oh, there it is.
I got it.
It's whimsical
and sad
at the same time.
So just know that we were disappointed, even if this doesn't happen.
The music didn't reflect it.
I'll tell you what.
Enjoy the podcast today.
All right. It's the Riot.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, with the fundraiser, I've been coming in and something's like today, I just sat down at the table in our break room and ate breakfast.
You had a good time.
It was
You enjoyed
nice.
it.
I actually told Nikki, this is kind of fun because I never sit down and eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, and also it helped with these cinnamon roll things that someone brought in, and that enhances the breakfast opportunity. So it makes the fundraiser really worth it when we get all this food.
I was drinking coffee. There was a maple cinnamon roll from Amish country, and it was just like, this is nice.
This will work.
We should do this more often. Well, for those of you that do like an actual morning breakfast sit down like I see on TV. I mean, I've never seen it in real life, but on TV, people do that.
I know, but we get up so early that it's not, we don't have the time to do a sit-down breakfast.
Well, Eggo, apparently, this I did not know. They, of course, have done waffles forever, but now Eggo does pancakes?
Well, it's a cookie pancake.
Well, no, but they do just straight pancakes.
Yes, they do. Then they do like Belgian waffles, too, so they've tried to branch out.
They have, and now, as Nikki said, they are expanding into the gingerbread cookie space.
So they're doing frozen cookie pancakes. So they're gingerbread-flavored ones, and those come out in November.
Where do you stand on gingerbread cookies, though?
I don't like gingerbread cookies.
I don't either.
I don't mind maybe a little snippet of one or two leading up to the Christmas season, but I don't want one anytime else.
I feel like
a strong flavor.
I feel like gingerbread cookies are a carryover from when they were like, you'll be lucky if you get an orange for Christmas.
You mean from the olden days?
You get an orange in your sock, which you tack at the bottom of your bed.
It was your Christmas orange.
Yeah.
If you were good.
That was it.
Yes, that's all you got.
And then they're like, once a year, you can have a bite of a gingerbread man.
That's all you had. No, that's what they used to probably decorate decorate the tree, and then you got to eat the gingerbread.
Well, that's where I'm at on gingerbread man in general.
So we're saying no to gingerbread.
Well, that's 1 and 2, and I hate to be so negative about it, but guys, I can't have pancakes for breakfast.
Why? These are pancake cookies. They're supposed to be like denser.
Pancake coma. That's what I call it. Anytime I eat pancakes in any amount, I'm gone. That's it. Like, me eating pancakes is signing my intention letter to sleep very soon.
The rest of the day, and so cookie pancakes would be even worse.
I can't imagine
now,
a
if you
world
don't
where
like
that's going to
gingerbread
work.
ones, perhaps we can try the pumpkin pie ones. Those are already out. But the gingerbread ones, like I mentioned, are not until November.
Okay, well, what if we got the pumpkin pie ones to try it? We just push them to the end of the show.
You know, the season kind of just started, but I'm already over the pumpkin flavor, too. It's a lot like,
What's
it
it
has
been,
the ginger
a week?
stuff in it. I know,
All right, it's technically been 3 weeks, but still.
There's still a lot there, but is there any other flavors we could do for Christmas? Anything else? Sugar cookie pancakes?
This is what happens when you start
cookie pancakes.
This is what happens when you start the flavors too early.
I'm already bored with it.
It's literally the 15th of September.
Yes.
We're halfway through the month.
Yes.
We haven't even gotten into October, which is prime pumpkin time.
It's still summer, and I'm tired of it.
It is still summer, and Nikki's like, oh, fall is dumb.
Well, see if we can bring something else to the table.
You're about to skip winter and spring and be straight back into summer flavors.
No, I'm going to go all wrong.
Lucky for you, it's still summer.
So we might have to look at these later for a Riot food fight.
Absolutely.
It might be worth trying, but yeah, pumpkin pie ones are now, but then the gingerbread cookie pancakes will be in November.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Okay, so I, this week, just have my eyes glued to video game stuff. PlayStation's supposed to do their big announcements tomorrow. And last week, Xbox did a bunch of their stuff. And their big hullabaloo was that for $25 a month or $35 a month, you could get a new Xbox console. So at $25 a month, you got the less expensive one. And you get Game Pass and Xbox Live and all of that. And you got to do that for 2 years. You get to keep the console when it's over. For $35 a month, the Xbox Series X, same deal. You get the Game Pass and all that stuff. You get to keep it when it's over. I have been wondering, how do you do that? Because, like, do you go to a Microsoft store and do that? Because there aren't that many of those left. They closed most of those.
I guess I thought maybe that's only if you buy it online.
I thought so, too.
But then I guess you're right. It must be from them.
But it looks like you'll be able to do that at GameStop, which makes me wonder, you can do it at GameStop, but will you be able to do that at, like, Best Buy?
Oh, sure.
You know, that I don't know, but I know for sure that GameStop is a place where you will be able to do that.
Sure.
If GameStop stays open for 2 years.
Last couple of times I've been to GameStop, which has been a few months, but they're just so unhappy there, you know?
Oh, yes.
And I didn't know if it was just me going in, but it just seems very unhappy. Just a very cloud of sadness over the whole place.
Well, like, it's rough there. I hear that, well, you know what? Now, I'll just stay out of the rumor mill. I have had the same experience.
So I don't know if I want to go in and sign up for a 2-year thing. But the 2-year thing has nothing to do with GameStop, though. Because if they're not here in 2 years,
you'll still be paying Big Green.
I would still be paying Microsoft.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can sign up for that. And they're allowing you, this is crazy, but you can pre-order the payment plan starting next Tuesday.
So then you'll have it when it comes out?
I guess. Huh. I mean, I'll say, as someone that is... I have never pre-ordered a console from GameStop, but I have seen people that have been very unhappy because you just get it. You do your pre-order, but you get it when you get it.
Oh, and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, and if you end up not being one of the very first people to pre-order,
they're not going to guarantee it on release.
You might be a few shipments down the line.
Oh, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not doing this, but I'll have to say it's a little tempting because I love Game Pass Ultimate. I have gotten so much fun out of that.
And what's another monthly payment, guys, right?
Listen, Nikki, I'm trying to support RadioU right now.
Well, I know, but then, you see all these and we're like, we jump right into these.
Actually, that's a great point. You jump into this.
Don't think about it.
For RadioU, you're like, well, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. But next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
It's the day after my birthday, which I've basically completely forgotten about.
Oh, next Monday's going to be great.
Well, of course it is.
I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just going to be great. We're going to have a really great birthday.
We're going to get up. We're going to do a show. Yes. It's going to be awesome.
There'll probably be donuts that morning. It's going to be a really, really fun birthday next week.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
All right, Nikki, you ready?
Yeah?
We've said a lot about canceling Halloween, basically. Like, we don't think trick-or-treat's going to happen very many places. I don't know. Maybe it will. Whatever. But I'll tell you this. Thanksgiving's not going to be the same.
Well, the Macy's parade. I never watched it, though. I think you did, right? You'd go get your donuts and then go watch them.
Watch it.
Oh, you would.
Watch yourself.
So this does impact him.
Watch your foul mouth when it comes to
the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Mm-hmm.
There'll still be something. It'll be virtual. That'll really be great.
Give me a break.
They basically don't want the crowds of people along the way.
I get it.
So I don't think they see the point in having the actual parade go through if there's not people there, and they don't want to encourage people to go there. So they'll just record everything and then just play it.
Yeah.
So you'll still get something. It'll just be a virtual Thanksgiving Day parade.
Nope, not watching it. I don't watch, I don't record the parade and watch it later because to me, there's no point.
You just watch it if it's on, when you tune in around that time.
In fact, I've even got to the point now where I'm kind of waiting through. We get the Broadway performances from like 8 to 9, and I'm like,
You just watch after.
I want to see the balloons and the floats. And, I like Broadway stuff, but for some reason, it's not Thanksgiving enough for me.
I always like seeing people people online when it starts trending like they were lip syncing. You're like, they're not ever going to sing live. They just don't.
So what?
Oh, I'm sorry they're not going to have it.
It's going to be virtual. They're going to basically pre-record the entire thing and whatever it is.
It'll just be.
Yeah. I mean, there'll still be football that day, probably, if the comet hasn't hit yet.
What do we get for football?
NFL.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because the NFL is playing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see some games that day. But I'm going to be in Oregon that day. And can I just... Oh, man. I got an email last night I'm so excited about. Black Friday, I was supposed to fly home at 1:30 p.m.
On Black Friday?
On Black Friday.
Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, I was going to arrive home at 9:30 p.m. I got an email yesterday that I am now scheduled to leave at 5:30 a.m. on Black Friday. Wait for it.
What?
And I'll be landing at 9:30 p.m. So
what's your layover?
I have like 2 4-hour layovers on Black Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's right.
That's terrible.
That's right.
To have to wait in an airport with your mask and everything just to sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Thanks, Nikki.
Oh,
it's going great.
You're going to have a great time.
I'm super excited.
Traveling is wonderful. The holidays are wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's terrible.
I looked up the terms. Do you know what they say? Like, if they would have changed my end time,
then
I would have recourse.
But now you don't.
Because I am still getting in at the same time, they can move my first flight anywhere they darn well please.
Well, that's miserable. Maybe they'll still end up changing the end time. Maybe you'll still get out of it.
Well, it's a great place to start.
It is what it is.
I'll tell you what, you can already feel the joy of the holidays beginning to move in.
I feel it now.
Don't you?
It's a chill in the air.
Oh, there is. There's a real chill.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
How do you guys feel about bagpipes?
Oh, it's a lovely sound, isn't it?
You know what's funny? They don't bother me.
They don't?
Does that bother you? I mean, if it was too loud.
I think I would only last a certain amount of time with it.
Now I feel like I need to find out.
You want to keep it going forever.
Like today while I'm working, I just need to play some bagpipes in the background just to see.
How long it would till I have to get away from it.
How long before I can't take it.
Which is why these bagpipes are in the news. That's exactly what they're using them for.
So there's a McDonald's restaurant in Sacramento where basically they're tired of people hanging. No, Nikki.
Yo, you want to
I haven't reached the...
You haven't reached the point yet?
No.
And I want to hear you and the details. I want to absorb that.
So you've already hit your bagpipe threshold?
It's a Tuesday, you know?
No, I know what it is. You just like it so much that you need to turn it off because otherwise you won't hear anything I say because you're just focused on the pipes.
I won't be able to.
I get that. I really do understand. So there's a McDonald's in Sacramento where they are, according to neighbors, blasting bagpipe music in their parking lot.
So basically the problem is with homeless people loitering and staying at the McDonald's, and so they use the music as a way to deter them from staying and living at the McDonald's.
They're just like, eventually they've had enough, and they
want them to leave.
This is the best way because they don't have to tell them to leave. Eventually, people just leave on their own.
It's a statement. But the neighbors of the McDonald's is the one that really has the problem with it. They say that they are trying to, they play this music 24 hours a day just to stop people from
hanging out.
Yeah, from being there.
I get that. Though, you know what? I just show them. I get used to it. I just start sleeping there and just be like, you know what? I've gotten to the point now I can't go to sleep without some bagpipes. That's the real difficulty.
You turn to the other side and
I need my fan and I need some bagpipes.
So basically, another restaurant in Sacramento did the same tactic, and then a 7-Eleven that was in Hollywood did classical music to deter homeless people, and then another convenience store in Sacramento, instead of playing the bagpipes or a classic tone, actually played a high-pitched tone to bother people more.
I'll tell you right now, I have a neighbor that's like 4 or 5 houses down from me, and I can't hear it at my house, but he has this really high-pitched noisemaker on his house to keep neighborhood cats away. And dude, every time I walk past his house, I want to scream. And so I finally actually asked him about it. I was like, hey, do you know that you have a high-pitched whine that comes from your house? Because I have asked other neighbors, and they can't hear it. And I can absolutely hear it. And he's like, you can hear that?
Yeah. You know, I'm part cat.
Well, he actually said, he's like, well, they told me that you wouldn't be able to hear it.
It's like wrong.
And he's like, it's to keep the neighborhood cats away from his pond.
So for this, you could hear the high-pitched noise. It wasn't like for a cat. This is
Hey, I can hear it now.
It is notithough.
Hurts my ears.
The Sacramento Police Department has received so many complaints that McDonald's has stopped using the bagpipe music, though they're still trying to look into ways to keep people from staying there who are not supposed to be staying there.
Ooh, Nikki.
And during the whole bagpipe music, homeless people were still living there. It did not stop them.
Because they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Check this out. I just found this. This is Lord of the Rings, The Shire, music and ambiance.
Well, this is nice.
Maybe we should play this outside the McDonald's.
I don't know. This would actually be welcoming.
I saw they were having a deal where you could get 2 10-piece McNuggets for $5.
In the Shire?
I love that.
Yeah,
so I could just sit outside the McDonald's, eat my chicken McNuggets, and wait for Gandalf to wander by. Doesn't that sound nice?
It does.
Mr. Frodo!
This is not what they were playing at the store.
2 for $5, Mr. Frodo! And unlimited refills! All right, it's fine.
That seems more like a partnership.
Man, I'm liking that. I'm putting that on my list. I'm going to play that.
Listen to that later?
I'm going to play that later.
Like, what were you doing today? Well, I was trying to find this annoying music that would keep people from staying, and I ended up finding something I liked.
I also want some chicken McNuggets.
That also happened, too.
I got to go to Sacramento. I'll be back, guys.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
You know what? I love talking to Nikki because she says stuff to me that I'm not expecting. She's like, so last night I cooked some lobster.
I made that for dinner. So out of left field.
What? Where do you even get lobster?
I got it from Costco. It was on sale.
Okay.
Have you ever gone there when they had like their big seafood thing? Like
no.
they have sometimes this person who's out in the middle and there's lots of ice and they have all these extravagant sort of seafood items.
I can imagine it.
So I think they must have just had this because this was already wrapped up and it was little lobster tails. And
okay.
It was like the sale section.
Okay.
So it was like $20 for the 4 of them. And they weren't anything big, but I was like, I've always wanted to try to make it. And I did.
You cooked lobster.
I did. Now,
Amazing.
I could never make it where, like, you pick...
a live lobster?
Yeah, I don't think I can ever do that. and I don't want to put it.
You could.
No, I don't think I can.
Think about it like this, okay?
The screams.
That's just air escaping. It's not actually them screaming.
I think it is.
It's not.
I think it is. And so I don't think I could
worry about it.
I don't think I could ever do like the full body, like if it was alive.
Yeah.
But it was just its tail, so it was okay.
That's fine.
I also had never touched a lobster tail sort of thing. Okay. And it's weird.
Yeah. It's like a cockroach, right? Because it has.
Yep. It is so weird. I had trouble, but we pushed past once I started melting the butter.
Yeah.
It's okay then.
Okay, so how'd you make it?
I made it in Instapot.
Okay.
Yeah, it only took a couple of minutes.
I've thought about buying an Instapot, mostly because of the way you described how easy it is to make rice.
It's very easy to make rice, and I make like hard-boiled eggs for snacking and stuff, and that's super easy.
Boy, you know how to snack.
I know, right?
Hey, guys, come on over. Let's have some hard-boiled eggs.
Let's stop talking. I don't feel like I'm going to come off as really cool right now. So, yeah.
Well, my problem is, like, dude, rice, I could just sit around and eat rice all day.
I know if you made a whole big pot of it.
They're like, that's why you're fat. Yep. Whatever.
And it's good rice.
Just keep eating it.
So,
good basmati rice. Good Lord. You melt a little bit of butter in it.
I don't use mine too much, but they're not too expensive, and you use it enough, I would think.
You're cooking lobster.
I made it.
That's
it was so good.
You're like exotic adult now.
Why? Because I could?
That's amazing. Do you know what I had for dinner last night?
What'd you have?
I don't even remember.
Don't even remember? It wasn't that good?
Oh, you know what? How about this? Okay, this doesn't sound so bad. I did make rice, and I sauteed some broccoli, and I had some leftover turkey roast. Mm-hmm. And so
look at that. You're practically at lobster.
A rice bowl out of it with some P.F. Chang's teriyaki sauce. That's available in the store. So... I threw that all together, and it actually was delicious.
See, look at what we're doing. We're being grown-ups, eating at home, having dinner.
Well, just to be clear, I had Burger King for lunch.
Oh, so now we're back down.
Well, I got a gift card, and so I'm just eating off this gift card.
Wait, you got Burger King again?
Well, yeah.
Didn't you have it the other day, and that was when the problem happened?
Well, that was last week.
That was last week?
So it doesn't count.
In a different location or same location?
Different location.
Okay.
One of the worst Burger Kings I've ever visited in my life was recently renovated, so I stopped in.
You stopped there?
Yeah. I don't feel like they renovated everything but the staff.
But the attitudes?
Yeah, the attitudes were very much the same. But in fairness, they did give me my burger my way.
That's all you need. He had a problem where he went to another location and it didn't work out with his order, and he had to go in, and that was an issue.
Maybe he said some things he regrets.
Well, it's just you're growing every day.
You know what? And that's how you end up being a lobster too. A lobster gets a little insolent. The next thing you know, you're in Nikki's Instapot.
Well, you never know when that might happen.
Made lobster.
I did. Lobster tails, just little itty bitty ones.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. I haven't changed. In case you're like, she's changed so much. She's a different person.
Are we in Cape Cod right now?
Why?
We're wandering down to the fish market in Seattle.
I wish I could have all that. I'm sure it would have been cheaper.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm not going to mention any names here, but there's a band that Nikki and I know that they filmed a music video, and they were just like, you know what? We're just going to hire some people that are better looking than us to be the band in the video.
A few bands have done that.
And you know what? I'm starting to think about that. And this all started, I know it seems related to kind of the Netflix thing and, you know, Ol NF and his clicks. They'll do anything to get him. But I really had this thought last night. I was going through, I can't remember. It was like, you know, where you get invites like this page. Mm-hmm. And I was scrolling through all of these pages, and it gives you this like little photo of whatever. And I was like, man, most of these photos are terrible. Like, these photos do not make me want to like your thing at all. They're terrible. And then I started thinking like, okay, what if there was an Obadiah page, or there was a riot, like whatever. I was involved in something and there was a page for it. And I was like, you know what? My photo wouldn't make you want to click.
Your profile pic?
Like if I put my picture on this and I was like, please click and like this or whatever, you don't want to like that. You don't want to click that.
So what do you think needs to be there?
I'll tell you exactly what I need. I need someone that's better looking.
Well,
and what I want.
Do you want that, or do you want someone who's obviously known to not be you? but is better looking. Does that make sense? Meaning, would you put like a celebrity or,
No,
like, here's a cute puppy or something, like here's a Lego version of me?
That's just bait. What I need is, it's that classic...
You want a catfish, not bait?
What's the story about the guy that had the huge nose, and so he
Cyrano.
Cyrano, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, Cyrano de Bergerac. That's what I want to do. This face, as you know it, I want to disappear. I'm stopping all public appearances or whatever, and I'm going to hire somebody to be me. And
you're just talking to him from a distance?
That's right. We're going to get a little IEM. We're going to stick it in that ear there, and I'll just be like, and I just tell them what to say. And they can be me. And we maybe don't have to push it that far. Maybe I became something of a recluse. People don't see me in public very often, but there's plenty of publicity photos.
When that does happen, then they're like, oh, when he does go out, it's so much more important.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah.
So I just find somebody that is better looking, et cetera, and together we'll be the online package.
If you want to try that, I guess.
It's just something to think about.
Why don't you just try to take a better picture?
Well, Nikki, okay. I appreciate what you're saying, but there's only so much.
You haven't hit the wall. Like, there's plenty of.
There's only so much. No, there's only so much raw material to work with here. Okay,
it's fine.
And
you work with shadows. You bring in some lighting on the other side.
I'll look like a confessional thing. You're like, it's just his profile, but it seems okay.
It's rather dark, but that's fine.
Just something to think about.
All right. Well, I still want you to think about that. Maybe we just work with what we have, and we got to find a person who has a bigger vision for a picture for you.
Yeah, maybe. But I still think the answer is, let's just get somebody that's better looking.
Let's just get someone else.
Somebody and
anybody volunteer.
Like, don't be so hard on yourself. No. I'm not. I'm just thinking big. Okay, we got to take this thing to the next level, and how are we going to do that? Better looking.
But then people that have seen you before be like, wow, he's really changed. What happened to him?
Most people go the other direction, but he is actually really improved.
It's great.
It's amazing.
The Riot Radio U.
Now, I promised you a sentence you never thought you would hear.
Let's just get it over with.
Let's just start with that. Doctors immediately recognized the larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Yeah.
The larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Shivers. Is this the video of the guy with the lip thing?
Oh, no, it's...
What is this thing, then?
Nikki, you find yourself having headaches.
Yeah.
And you just keep getting headaches, and they just cannot figure out what's
wrong
causing
with
the
you?
headaches. Like, what is this? You have a headache that's so bad that sometimes you find yourself vomiting, which...
Stop it. Put the vomit away.
What?
Stop it.
What?
Okay. And what happened?
Well, this guy was having headaches.
Put your laptop down.
So bad.
Yeah.
That he was vomiting. Isn't that awful?
Mm-hmm.
So then he finally finds himself in a position where he goes to the Del Setton Medical Center. They do this scan of his brain, and they're just like... Well, look there! A larval sac of a tapeworm!
So what is that?
Well, they think he might have had some undercooked pork.
Well, why is it in his brain?
And then, it just gets up there.
It does?
I
thought it'd be in the stomach.
That's what I thought,
up there?
Too. How did it get
up there?
Brain?
Is he eating it through his nose? What's he doing?
I don't know exactly how it works.
Were they able to remove it?
All right, so they say the tapeworm, Tinea solium, often infects pigs. It lays their larvae in the pigs. And then if the pig isn't properly cooked, humans can wind up eating the larvae, which then hatch in the intestines. And then it says if the worms don't make their way through, they'll also lay... eggs in the person.
Stop it. Stop telling us this.
These larvae develop in sacs or cysts that can travel around the body and sometimes find their ways into your brain.
So that's how it made it. So is he better? Like they were able to remove it, or how did they handle that?
They removed it. Mm-hmm. And you can see a picture of it if you want to.
I don't know.
But you don't want to.
I don't know.
And you know what? He's feeling a lot better.
It's educational. You got to learn. You want to make sure
You need to
everything's
know
cooked
things.
properly.
And this is going to be one of those great options that when you have a friend that's like, I just keep having these headaches, and you could just
Do
say,
not pass this to them.
you just be like, you know what?
No, that's the worst idea.
It could be the larval sac of a pork tapeworm. Have you thought about that?
Then you're making your friend really, really, really worry.
Yeah, I know. Let's ask Dr. Google. I have a headache.
It's the worst.
Could be the larval sac of a pork tapeworm.
Don't be that type of friend, all right?
You should be. You
just
should.
keep this one to yourselves. We're sorry that Obi shared it with you.
Keep feeding that to him. Here, just like here, and have some undercooked pork while you're at it. See, this just goes to show you really need to cook the bacon.
Annie,
cook it.
Annie, what's your thing here? She said we used to do lab testings on pigs for parasites, and let me tell you, every single one of those pigs was infested.
Yeah. It's a filthy animal.
Thanks for sharing this wonderful story with us, Obi.
Mm-hmm.
May we never forget it, and may we've learned something today.
You see, Nikki, you know what? I can tell you haven't let it in yet.
I don't want to.
No, you've got your professional broadcast tone going,
because I haven't seen the pictures
you
yet.
You haven't been willing to process the information yet.
I don't want to look, because I get headaches, and I don't want to look. And that's exactly why.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
You know what? I'll tell you who the big bag is in this room.